Hello everyone and welcome to my extremely scatterbrained rendition of a 100 days video. Wanting to cave immediately, I was kind of a little bit disappointed when I came to the realization that this whole cave was just underwater. After almost nearly dying on the surface, I decided that it would be safer to just head down into a cave. Oh, I'm nearly dead. It was in fact not safe and this place was absolutely horrible. Getting lost in the simplest of caves, I had to dig my way out. This is it, people. After checking out the island for a bit, I decided that this was ultimately going to be where I was going to build my base. As nighttime descended upon me, I took it upon myself to light up the whole area. Admittedly, I didn't do a very good job. No! Ah! Dangerous nighttime activities aside, I did find some iron though. Is that a village I see? Living out a life of crime, this village essentially didn't really have much and I was quite disappointed. Why do I always fail the easiest parkours? After running through this whole cave, I came to the conclusion that I was scammed. Not even a single piece of iron. Being out of decent caving options, I just decided to make a strip mine. Finally making an iron pickaxe, I was able to collect my first diamond. Thank you! Oh! Ah! Oh, nothing. Ow! Oh! Oh! Ooh, the guys are being generous today. Oh, no. Oh. At this point, I got interrupted by one of the most neediest animals on this planet. Can I help you? Taking a look at the nearby caves, I realized that it was full of skulk, and skulk in fact gave XP. Ooh, hey now! Whoa! Oh no! I'm digging my way out. I'm not going back there. Looking at my inventory, I realized I had a lot of unused diamonds. Where am I? Being back home again, I thought it would be a good idea to extend the staircase down to diamond level, as I thought it would be the safest option. Safe was unfortunately not an option. Oh my gosh, where do you keep coming from? Luckily, it wasn't long until I started finding diamonds, and I just found them one after the other. You know, collecting obsidian with an unenchanted pickaxe, not really fun. Back on the surface, I decided to make the last few pieces of my armor, and just look at me go, looking kinda snazzy. So I decided to then level a little bit of the island because it was just weird and lumpy, and it was driving me kind of a little bit crazy. This looks so wrong. On day 12, I made my life a whole lot easier by building a bridge. Having enough XP at this point, I started to set up the entire enchanting area. Placing down what I had, I realized that this is not enough, and I in fact needed more paper. At this point, I grew tired of waiting for the sugarcane to grow, so I just went out and harvested as much as I possibly could. Dang it, nothing good.
Oh, it's a Nautilus! I forgot these were added.
After running for a while, I kinda ran out of cows and I resorted to killing horses. Now, I'm not proud of what I did next. I was still in need of a lot of leather, so I may have killed all donkeys. Having only the spear to use, I had to collect the rest of the leather extremely inefficiently. Hello, boys! At long last, I had enough supplies for the rest of the bookshelves. In all of the 18 days of being alive, I haven't even seen a single piece of lapis. Checking all of my options, I ultimately went with a pickaxe and got a pretty good work pick. Knowing that I had some extra levels, I made myself an extra pickaxe and axe and tried my luck again. Having an absolute lack of storage at this point, I started to work on a warehouse. How am I gonna make this look good? I made the brilliant choice to build out of bricks, so I had to go collect some clay. Eventually I needed to AFK because it just took absolutely way too long to smelt. I enchanted again and got a pretty good axe. Eventually I finished up the roof of the warehouse. I stood back and it looked kind of weird. So I decided to add all of the storage, and again I went back to look at my beautiful build and it still looks weird. Realizing that I had to get to the nether, I started to build my portal. Being a little bit terrified of the nether, I started to prepare myself. Now, heading into the nether, I was hoping for a good spawn, and it just didn't happen. I might as well have spawned on the nether roof. That's how high up I was. There just really wasn't an easy way to get down. Oh, you're coming home with me. I didn't even know I could do this. After a while, I stumbled upon the nether fortress. The location of this spawner was quite good, so I decided to try and turn it into like a small little farm, but I got scared and I ran away. It took me a little while to get into a rhythm to kill these blazes because I was actually just fumbling around and quite frankly getting set on fire quite a few times. I decided to build this stupid contraption that didn't even work. The loot inside the structure wasn't really good. On the way back, this blaze made my life very difficult. Leaving that horrible place behind, I started to make my way back and I immediately got lost. Eventually, I did find the Soul Sand Valley again, so I dug my way to freedom. Unfair advantage, I'm stuck on Soul Sand. Being back down in my strip mine, I wanted to find some extra diamonds, and let's just say I should have stayed on the surface. Oh! Dude, all of my stuff needs to really go everywhere. These diamonds were definitely not worth dying for. Needing some more levels again, I went down and I just mined up all the skulk that I could find. Being a little bit lucky with Silk Touch, I decided to jump right back into the mines just to collect up some stone. At this point, I just wanted some space to build the main building, but I realized that I had to start organizing all of my chests. At long last, I was finally able to start placing a whole lot of blocks, but once I started, I couldn't stop and I ended up having a massive project. Feeling a lot more motivated, I started to work on all of the small projects that I was putting off just to make my life a little bit easier. Now, while I was building, these phantoms reminded me that I needed to sleep. After running out of food yet again, I decided that it was high time that I built a farm. Feeling a bit lonely, I started to work on some villager houses. After becoming a little bit impatient with how slow the happy cast was growing, I ran to the nearest snowy taiga to get it some snowballs. Oh man, how greedy are you? On day 38, I abducted some individuals. Being scatterbrained, I never finished the houses. I went to go enchant a little bit more and I got really lucky with a good helmet. Naturally, I also started to trade. Now, I may have built the walls, but I never finished the roof. Still being in a bit of a building mood, I continued to plan out the main structure. I tried killing this Enderman, but it turned out I didn't even need to do anything. After realizing that the small farm that I did build wasn't really going to be enough for me to fill up the inventory spaces of the villagers so that I can breed them, so I just continued building and I created yet another ugly stone arch. Definitely the ugly phase right now. Now, please ignore the lack of walls. I get to it eventually. No thank you. Wanting to make my life a little bit easier, I continued the staircase down to the mines. Oh no. After 50 days, I still didn't really have a good way of getting XP, so I thought to myself that I can just go mine up some more skulk. Oh, mama, this is not good. Oh no. Okay. I just want to leave. I'm gonna go. No way, that's so rare. Using up all of those levels, I got really lucky. On the way back, I got some beetroot seeds and I decided to make a farm for them. Why am I so incompetent? Okay, I can fix that. At this point, I'm just filling up all the empty spaces with random buildings. Feeling the need for an adventure, I enlisted a cartographer to help me out. Oh man, I've been running for so long, why is it not moving? After traveling a few thousand blocks, I finally reached the mansion. Being humbled immediately, I realized that these guys hit really hard. That's more lanterns than I'll ever need. At this point I really had nothing else to do, so I just started to prepare for the Ender Dragon fight. And so the time has come to look for the stronghold. To make it difficult, the stronghold was under the ocean. Unfortunately for me, the stronghold was merged with a mineshaft. After thoroughly exploring this place, I just started to run into the same corridors over and over and over again, and I made the horrible realization that there was in fact no portal. At this point, I had to use chunk base to find another stronghold. Finally, an intact portal. And now to take on the dragon.
And now I will snatch away the baby.
Popping through the portal, I wanted to go steal the Elytra. Unfortunately, there really wasn't a whole lot of end cities, so it took a lot of traveling. Finally! After essentially completing Minecraft, I ran home as fast as possible. Realizing that the base needed a little oomph, I started to decorate. Come on, leave me alone! Needing some extra space for a farm, I decided to move the portal. The town centre essentially just became a display of ugly banners. With the help of the Happy Ghost, we got to work on finishing up this bridge. Oh no, I built it wrong and now it's wonky. Realizing that the base was missing a little something, I started to relocate these trees. Realizing that the island looked a little bit plain, I started to build some rocks. That looks so bad. At long last, I started to build the trees. I built the docks purely to keep the ghast contained. At long last, I started to decorate the interior of the main building. Distractions aside, I needed to fix up my kitchen. Wanting to commemorate every type of milestone that I went through in this world, I started to build a little bit of a shrine. At this point, I'm just living my best life. As the ruler of this place, I declared that every household will have bunk beds. Hiding the mining entrance was the best that I could ever do for it. Wanting some companions, I stormed off to the local tiger to go tame up a few wolves. Yes, that's right. Get your fluffy little butt in there. Wanting an aerial view of my base, I wanted to use the happy ghost, but he flew away. Looking back at my base on the night of day 100, I felt proud that I was able to successfully finish the whole challenge.